Hey everyone, this is Chucky 101, and today I'm going to give my personal thoughts on the new Chucky remake. So, to start this video off, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to talk about this remake in one of two ways: the positive light or the negative light. And I know that there's people that are kind of down the middle that are just hoping that the movie isn't a flop, that they're hopeful that it'll be good, but they're not going to take the stance that it'll be good. But I'm just going to take all those people in the middle and I'm just probably going to put them onto the positive side of the spectrum. Because there's a whole lot of fans out there that aren't a fan of this movie now in pre-production, and there's probably going to be a lot of fans that are going to come over to that side once the actual movie comes out. I can't say for sure. I just have a feeling about this. Chucky fans are some of the most passionate fans in the entire horror universe. And we're very, very particular. And we're the type of fans that'll even come after movies within our own franchise if we feel like Chucky is not being written to the standard that we feel he should be written to, or the movie, reaching our high expectations. So, with this remake, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of it, period, point blank, simple. There's absolutely no reason why there should be a remake in the works and being developed slowly but surely while the Chucky franchise is still going strong. That does not make any sense to me. I understand that it's inevitable that all of our favorite slasher icons are going to get a remake. And you know what? They have. Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, etc., etc., etc. They all came out. And the reason it was at a good time was because all of these movies had run their course. 10, 11, 12 of them had been made, and then there was 10 years since those movies were made, or 5 years, or whatever it is. But essentially, those movies were done. They told the story that they needed to tell. And then eventually, new directors, new producers, new fans came together, and they decided that it was time to do a remake. I understand that. But with Chucky still in the middle of a renaissance, still making new movies, a new TV show series is coming out, which looks really promising. You go and you make a remake while Chucky is still reinventing itself. So you're going to confuse fans. You're going to totally take attention away from the original Chucky series. And now you're going to try to make this remake and try to capture the momentum that the original, the only Chucky franchise has got going. You're trying to steal this momentum and then put it into your own remake. To me, that's disrespectful. As a lifetime Chucky fan, a diehard fan, and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this can attest to this, I would never do that. I would not even try to pull off a remake in general, but especially because I wouldn't want to tarnish the legacy of Chucky. And I especially would never have the audacity to call myself a fan of the series, like the producers of this movie are. Say that I'm a fan, but then also try to make a remake while Chucky is still going strong. To me, that's just disrespectful. You just don't do that. It's sort of just an unspoken thing in the movie business. So, anyway, this is why I disagree with the Chucky remake being made in principle. But after getting small glimpses of the movie, I have even more reasons why I think that this remake is going to flop. So, the first thing I'm going to bag about with this remake is the teaser picture of the new Chucky look. I don't even like saying the new Chucky look because it doesn't even deserve to be called Chucky. It doesn't deserve to even be in the same sentence as Chucky. And this picture here, it's not worthy. It's not worthy of a remake. I don't know what it is about this picture. I've seen a lot of people say that they like this. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like this. For the people that do like this, I've heard their answers, and to me, I haven't really gotten any type of substance answer. It's always kind of broad. I can't figure out what details of this doll here that people are so crazy about. To me, it just looks like a weird clay animated, I don't even know what, like static puppet. Like it just looks weird. It totally loses me because the original, the normal Chucky look has just always been, it's been kind of fleshy, but it's also simplistic. It's got that nice round, standard doll face, but then it's got those round lifelike eyes, and just the way that the puppeteers and the animatronics come together to bring the doll to life. It's just such a cool look stylistically, and this just looks so just, I don't know, poorly done, staticky. I mean, his eyebrows look like they're hard plastic. Like he's got these weird little eyebrows. His eyes just kind of sink in. There's just doesn't look like a lot of life. If you kind of look, the ears, like it just looks like awful. It just looks like such low quality. I don't know if I'm crazy. I don't know. It's hard for me to even put into words. But if you guys can see what I'm saying, please give this video a thumbs up and explain in the comment sections. Help me put this into words. The doll just, it reminds me of, they did it was pretty much a low budget, almost an indie movie about Robert the doll. And the doll was just hideous looking. It wasn't cool. It wasn't stylistic. It was just a hideous looking Robert doll. And it was very low budget. And that's what this picture of this Chucky reminds me of. It reminds me of that low budget indie film. Nothing about this picture screams Hollywood to me. It's just not good. It's just a bad look. It really is. And it's like they're trying to make it like Chucky, but then they're trying not to make it like Chucky. And I think they just totally missed a home run because they took literally all the good things about Chucky and then just left them out when they made this doll. But then they still kept like the same color scheme. So it's just kind of idiotic to me. But that's one major thing that I don't think I can get over looking at this teaser picture or whatever you want to call it. And then for this film, you have some very sort of odd actors being casted as like the main lead roles. You have Aubrey Plaza, who's sort of, I don't know, she's been like a side character in a bunch of kind of comedy movies. She's been in some interesting movies. I remember her from Bad Grandpa. I think she's a cool actor. It just seems sort of like an out of place role for her. So I don't know. She might be like a huge fan of the genre or the movies. That's cool. Seems like an interesting actor to throw in there. Then you have Gabriel Bateman playing the child here, who's probably going to play like the Andy type role. To me, I don't know. I've seen this kid before. He just looks so just. It's like they took like the most cliche looking like kid, like prim and proper, young looking kid, and he's of course gonna get this doll for his birthday. I don't know. The kid just looks like he literally is just like a cliche, like a living actor cliche of who should be in this movie. But one major problem I have is when people go back to Child's Play 3, one of the main complaints that they say is that, oh, the kid that played Tyler, he looks too old to be in that innocent child role, where he should be old enough to understand that Chucky's manipulating him and that Chucky's bad, and why is this kid that looks older into dolls? And I think that you have an even worse case of this with Gabriel Bateman. I mean, this kid seems way too old to be playing with dolls. Certainly, if they decide to go the route of him communicating with the doll and making it seem like he loves the doll and all this stuff, if they decide to go that route, that doesn't make any sense because Gabriel Bateman seems way too old to be this young kid in distress that's innocent and naive. It just, if they do that, it's going to be a huge flop. I'm telling you, because they casted him, it's going to be a lot harder to get that sort of, Chucky trying to take over the soul of a young kid that's naive, because Gabriel Bateman just does not fit the role to me. So yeah, the cast so far, not very excited about it. I don't see the potential being very high. And, better yet, if you can look up articles online about this movie in pre-production, and they haven't even figured out who's going to play like the so-called Charles Lee Ray character, who's going to do the voice of Chucky. And you'd think that if you were doing a remake, at least if I was doing a Chucky remake, that would be the first thing I would want to find. Who's my Chucky? Who's going to be the voice of the franchise now? That's a very important role. And if they don't figure it out and they end up rushing it going into production, it is going to be terrible. These things are about trial and error. In the original Child's Play series, they had trial and error. They had other actors come in to play the role of Charles Lee Ray, and especially to do the voice of Chucky. And they had to experiment and they had to fail several times through before they rightfully chose Brad Dourif, the man that plays Charles Lee Ray, as the role for that voice. So they better take that very seriously, because you're definitely going to turn off a lot of fans if this Chucky's voice is not right and if the character that portrays him isn't fit for the role. So overall, it seems like the plot of this movie, they're going to try to change it up from the original. And I can't say good or bad on that, because who knows? Maybe they'll come up with some new unique ideas. Maybe they'll come up with some ideas, as Don Mancini would say, that aren't so contrived. I don't know what's going to happen there. But just so far, looking at the pieces that they have in place, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this remake. It shouldn't be happening. And these are sort of my passionate thoughts on the matter. And people can agree, they can disagree. That's totally fine. That's why I make these videos. I want people to talk about this, and I want fans of this series to come together and discuss this and give their honest opinions of what they think. And if everyone in the franchise, or a good majority of people, are excited about this, good for y'all. I'm really, really happy. As for this movie, I know I sound like a Debbie Downer. I know it sounds like I'm not giving this movie a chance. And yeah, that's definitely a good interpretation. I'm not giving this movie a chance. I don't want to give this movie a chance. And from what I've seen, it's giving me no reason to give it a chance. And we'll wait and see. But I mean, honestly, I have a very good view and perspective of the Chucky franchise from all the things that we've gotten so far. And I do not need to see another poorly made Hollywood remake to taint my view of this series, because it means way too much to me. So I'm not gonna bring myself down that rabbit hole. But other people definitely can, and when it actually does come out, I would definitely love to hear people's opinions about it. But right now, I'm just really turned off about it. But overall, it's still going to be a great couple of years for Chucky, and far beyond. We've got a lot of good things to look for, like the TV show series. And, they'll have room to succeed and they'll have room to fail. But no matter what, we'll be getting the beloved Chucky that we all know and love for that. So hopefully I'll do a video on that topic in the near future. But I just really was feeling strongly about this topic, and I really wanted to get it out there for everyone. So that should be it for today. This is Chucky 101 signing out.